Good evening, students. Welcome to the revision lecture of my favorite subject of taxation. I always suggest students that our profession of chartered accountancy offers us a wide range of career options, and every career opportunity, be it taxation, be it audit, be it cost and management, be it financial management, or even accounting, has multi-dimensional, what I can say, facets, has multi-dimensional opportunities. The only important thing is that you should be ready to dive deep. Until unless you are ready to dive deep and you are ready to explore not only the subject or the opportunity, but explore yourself in the subject. Until unless that you are ready, you will not be able to harness the maximum out of this career opportunity in the form of CA. And within that, when it comes to taxation, taxation is such a domain which is highly evolving, and you'll find that there is always something happening in the tax. So, tax is something which is always in churning. Earlier, we were only concerned with our domestic taxes. However, of late, it has so happened that internationally also the tax impact is having a big implications on our domestic tax forum. Plus, now internationally things are getting aligned. So, this domain of taxation offers a huge round of opportunity, be it GST, be it income tax. Within income tax, there is international taxation, there is H9 taxation. There are so many aspects to it. So, students, I wish that you all take up things very seriously in a professional sense. Seriously means with focus, with a very big and a long-term vision in mind. And I'm sure doing this will help you in a great way, shaping your professional career, right? So yes, very good evening, Lokesh, Shagufta, Gayatri, everyone present over here. So let us start. Today is the conclusion of all the topics, because today we are going to deal with sums on computation of total tax liability as well as total income. So this will indirectly cover everything in the syllabus at one place. And as our usual practice is, we will also try to revise if there are any provisions which by chance you are not well aware, you are not comfortable, confident. So kindly keep me posted, sir, this revise or this explain, so that it should not happen that we end up only solving the sum. That you can also do yourself. My interest more is bringing you the realization about any provision, or in case something is not very clear, bringing the clarity so that it can add up to your exam prep. Fine. So starting with this first sum, if let us say you want to have a screenshot for your reference, we can do it this way. Okay, take a screenshot of this first page, because this sum runs into 2 pages. So just take a screenshot of this first page. Done. Now take a screenshot. Okay, so anyways, the second page is not much. Okay, so you can just take a screenshot. No, beta, if I zoom, then you'll not be able to take the screenshot in one this. No? So I'm purposely not keeping it zoomed. So 1 second. I think you can take one screenshot and the whole question will be covered. Yes. I think this will give you the whole question. And then when you are referring, you can zoom. Done? Excellent. Now, what is this question dealing with? Mr. Amit is having business of manufacturing furniture, gives the following trading P&L account as on 31st March 25. Okay. Sales. Students, can anybody tell me how this sales figure impacts us when we are doing computation of income or computation of tax? Is this sales figure having any impact, or we can comfortably ignore and move ahead? Yes, students? No idea? See, whenever you are talking about business, there is presumptive income, 44 AD, ADA. So whenever you are dealing with a sum which has PGBP, you should always see the sales to just check whether you have to apply the presumptive provisions or not, right? Yes, turnover only. That is what I'm saying. Further, whether tax audit is applicable to this entity so that accordingly certain calls can be taken when we are dealing with computation. Okay. So now there are some details in profit and loss account, but generally I always prefer reading the additional information first so that when we are solving the question, we can do respective markings. So further information provided for this financial year is income tax refund includes 4750 as interest. I'm sure you all know what is the treatment of this. Yes, salary includes 30,000 paid to brother, which is unreasonable. So you can tell me the section for this fast. Okay. 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 What are we supposed to do? Compute total income tax liability in the most beneficial manner. Now, when we say most beneficial manner, it is we have to now do comparison between the new scheme, which is the default scheme, and also the old scheme. Correct? Right now? Should we start? Okay. So there is adjustment in salary, advertisement, miscellaneous, warehousing charges, salary, miscellaneous, GST, advertisement, warehousing, depreciation, interest on loan. Okay. Fine. So students, let us start. Help me one by one with everything so that we can include everything when we are solving the question. So now we have to find out total income. So we have to do PGBP, we have to do all heads, whatever are relevant. So we will start marking here itself for the purpose of PGBP. So sales will be part of PGBP and there is no adjustment in sale. Closing stock also part of PGBP, no adjustment. GP fine. Income tax refund. what it is to be done in PGBP students of income tax refund, or for that matter, whenever there is any refund or recovery or reimbursement, anything you all recall, students, relating to this? Sure, try to be interactive because, okay, Nagaraja says not income, Gayatri says income from other sources. So Gayatri, you mean to say this income tax refund is part of other sources? Okay, okay, very good, Gulika. Now, students, whenever you get this in your P&L credit, what you get? Recovery of bad debts or refund of any past tax or reimbursement of any past expenses or losses. The first thing that you should recall is section 41 of the PGBP head. It deals with refund, recovery, reimbursement of past expenses or losses. Now, what it says, where any of these expenses or losses were earlier eligible as deduction under the PGBP head, its recovery reimbursement will now be taxable under PGBP. But if it was not earlier taxable, earlier not allowed as deduction under PGBP head, then now it will not lead to any income under PGBP. So in this case, we all know income tax is disallowed as an expense under 40 clause A, means you don't get deduction of income tax. So definitely the refund of income tax will not be PGBP income as per provisions of 41. So definitely this is not part of PGBP at all. However, this includes interest, and as rightly pointed out by y'all, so this is the adjustment 4570 is towards interest. This interest 4570 will be part of other sources. But for the time being, sorry, I made a wrong marking. For the time being, as far as PGBP head is concerned, you have to subtract it. Now, warehousing charges, there is small adjustment relating to this. What it says, Mr. Amit had purchased a warehouse building for 20 lakhs in rural area for the purpose of storage of agricultural produce. And this was made available for use from 15th of July 24. And the income from this activity is credited in P&L under the name warehousing charges. Anything special relating to this, students? Anything this adjustment makes a special sense in the business head? So we have a special category of business called as 35AD. And if you see the details that it is for storage of agricultural produce, then if you recall 35AD, this income is part of a special business, which is a business under 35AD. No, beta Gulika, it is not exempt. So it has a special treatment as a business specified under section 35AD. Now, what is that special treatment? So whenever your activity is a business specified under section 35AD, then under the Income Tax Act, PGBP head, you are allowed deduction of capital expenses. So whatever is a capital expense incurred for this business, that capital expense is fully allowed as deduction immediately. This is what is the treatment if a particular business is falling in the list of 35AD. In that particular case, you are not allowed to claim depreciation because anyways you have claimed the entire amount of capital expense as deduction in the first place. So no need and no logic of claiming depreciation. Secondly, that asset on which you have claimed this 100% deduction upfront should not be transferred within 8 years. If you transfer, then there are some tax implications. However, now since we are solving the sum and we have to find out the answer in the most beneficial manner. So we have to solve it under both the options, that is the new scheme, which is the default scheme, and also the old scheme. Now, interestingly, under new scheme, 35 AD is not having the special tax treatment. So when it comes to new scheme, this particular computation of warehousing charges will be treated normally. It will not be treated as any special deduction or any special tax treatment. So this will not be having any special weightage under the new scheme. But when we will solve the same sum by the old scheme, this will be classified separately as 35 AD business, and there will be some special tax implications. So for the time being, under old scheme, there is no special tax treatment awarded to this. Now we move on to the debit side. Opening stock part of PGBP, purchases part of PGBP, freight, cartage, GP, all these are part of PGBP. And since there is no adjustment, it is fully allowed. Similarly, bonus to staff fully allowed, rent of premises fully allowed. All these are expenses which shall be fully allowed as deduction. Now, when it comes to all of these expenses, until and unless there is some specific point given, there is no question of disallowability. Why? I hope you all remember the PGBP rule that for claiming deduction of any expense, 4 conditions have to be satisfied. First, the expense should relate to current year. 2, the expense should be revenue in nature. 3, the expense should not be in the nature of an offense. And 4, it should be related to business. All these expenses, opening stock, purchase, freight, cartage, bonus, rent of premises, all satisfy the 4 conditions. Plus, there is nothing given below so as to suggest that it will be disallowed because of any restriction. Hence, it is fully allowed as deduction. Correct? No doubts with this? Perfect. Now, so far, so good. As we proceed, we have some more items. Again, depreciation, satisfying 4 conditions, bad debts, interest, depre, GST, salary, miscellaneous. Broadly, all are satisfying all the 4 conditions. So no challenge as such. However, now some of these have some adjustments. So now we will look at this vis-a-vis the adjustment. So first is advertisement. It includes 2,500 paid for advertisement, which is published in a souvenir belonging to a political party. Okay, the payment is made by way of account pay check. I'm sure you recall section 37 2B, which says that if any advertisement is made, 37.1 allows deduction for advertisement. However, 37 2B puts a specific restriction saying that if the advertisement is made in the souvenir of a political party, it may be not allowed as deduction. Just a second. So this is done. Bad debts, there is nothing. Now interest on loan. So for interest on loan, so we are done with this. Now for interest on loan, the adjustment is yes. It includes rupees 80,000 paid to Mr. Mohit, a resident on which tax was not deducted. Now students, what is the implication of this? If tax is not deducted, how do you handle this? Very good question. So you have a section 40 clause A, that is small a, which says that wherever payment of an expense is made to a resident and TDS is deductible on that payment, but if TDS is not deducted, then 30% of that amount will be disallowed. So out of this interest, you have to disallow 30%. So we will disallow how much? 30% of 80,000. Correct? Next, depreciation. What we can simply do is we can add this whole depreciation and subtract the depreciation as per income tax provision. This is the simplest way I believe you should handle this. Another option is you can take the difference between this amount and the income tax amount, whatever suits you. Then comes GST demand paid. Now GST demand paid also satisfy all the four conditions, no challenge at all. Now in this particular case, there is some adjustment. Had there been no adjustment, there was nothing to be done. It would have been fully allowed as deduction. However, there is some adjustment. So with relation to this adjustment, let's see. So it says that GST demand paid includes a sum of 5,300, which is charged as penalty for late filing of returns, and 12,750 towards interest for delay in deposit of tax. Now, what is the point? Now we have four conditions for allowing any expense. It should be related to business. It should be current year expense. It should be revenue nature, and it should not be in the nature of an offense. Now, as far as interest on late payment is concerned, interest is fine because it is, if you are paying tax late, obviously you have to pay interest. But when it comes to penalty, you have to check that the act or the reason for which this penalty is levied, is that reason any type of offense? So if this reason, what is the reason? Delayed filing of returns. If this is any type of offense, then we will have to disallow this. So let us understand, let us check if this is any type of offense. If yes, then we will have to disallow this. Now, the question is whether filing returns late is an offense. Now, the answer is that depends upon penalties levied under which section. If simply return is filed late, generally there is no, what you can say, offense. But many times, filing return late can be regarded as by the department as an attempt to evade tax. And if it is leviable under section 74 of the GST law, in that case, it may be disallowed because it would be considered as an offense. So we will have to make an assumption over here as to what we want to treat it, whether filing of return amounting to intent to evade tax, or it is just a procedural lapse. So there should be no intent. Generally, if penalty is given, because see, if late fees would have been given, we would have accepted, but if penalty is given, so I think we'll go by the presumption that it is levied for treating it as an attempt to evade tax, and we can disallow this. But as I said, second option is also available. So let us say I'm going by the option of disallowing this penalty by taking a presumption it is in the nature of an offense. Then coming to the next adjustment, that is for salary. So includes 30,000 paid to brother, which is unreasonable. So what is the section relevant to this? The section relevant to this is 40 capital A bracket 2, which says that whenever payment is made to a related person, it will be allowed as deduction to the extent it is within the fair market value limit. Now here it is said it is unreasonable to the extent of 5,000. So this much will be disallowed. So we add back 5,000. Then comes miscellaneous. Now in miscellaneous expense includes an amount of 1 lakh again paid to political party. So no such deductions are allowed. So again, disallowed. So all adjustments done. Yes. Now depreciation works out to 65,000, excluding depreciation on warehouse building. So this is depreciation as per income tax. We'll simply subtract it, but they say this is excluding warehouse buildings. So what details are given for warehouse? Okay, this is the detail given. So Amit had purchased a warehouse building of 20 lakhs for the purpose of storage, and it was made available for use from this year itself. So on 20 lakhs, the depreciation is yet to be computed. Now, had this been 35 AD, you would have allowed the full 20 lakhs as deduction. However, in this particular case, as I said earlier, in the new scheme, the special deduction of 35 AD is not available. Hence, we will not take 100% deduction of this. Rather, we'll take the regular depreciation on building for this. So in this question, we have broadly two heads of income. One is your PGPP, which is the main head, and the second minor head is the other sources where you have the interest income, right? So with this, let us go to the computation. Now, students, whenever you are doing computation, I will suggest that you follow a particular methodology. So we'll say computation of income and tax. We will write the name of the assessee, who is Mr. Amit. If nothing is given, you assume ROR, and the period is PY 24-25. So relevant AY is 25-26. Fine. Now, what is the methodology that we may follow? So you first show entire computation. So income from, salary, income from house property for business, for which we will have working note 1, capital gain, and income from other sources. This will be your GTI less deductions under chapter 6A, for which we can have working note 2. You have taxable income, tax liability, for which it will be working note 3, and minus TDS, TCS, advance tax. So this will be tax payable or tax refund due. Fine, students. Salary not there, HP not there, CG not there. Now we start with our working. So working note 1, computation of PGBP income. We follow the reconciliation format. So starting point is net profit as per accounts. Then add less. So we have on the debit side for add, you have this advertisement 2,500, interest 30%. Okay. So add advertisement in souvenir of political party. It is how much? 2,500. Then in add you have unreasonable payment to related person. Correct, no? No, sorry, this was TDS is not deducted. So it is interest on loan, TDS not deducted, 30% disallowed. So it is 30% of 80,000. So 24. Then depreciation as per accounting P&L. How much it is? 1,07,250. Then GST, we are assuming the penalty for late filing of returns, 5,300. I'm making a marking for a note. Salary includes the unreasonable portion. Salary unreasonable portion paid to related person. So it is 5,000. Then contribution to political party, 1 lakh. So I think all items of add are done. Yes, correct. So now less. Lokesh, you can ask this to the technical team. They will share with you the meeting ID passcode, right? So put this message to the technical team, Bida, Lokesh. So less is income tax refund. Warehousing charges we are going to keep here only. Then second will be depre as per income tax. And third will be depre on warehouse building. Correct? So income tax is 30,000 and depre is 65. So 30,000 less, 65,000 less. And on warehouse building, how much was the cost? 20 lakhs. And since the date is 15th of July 24, it means it is more than 180 days. So you'll take full depreciation. The rate of building is 10%. So full 100% deduction of 2 lakhs will be allowed. Correct. And then finally, net profit of accounts, how much it is? 5085. Students, please do the computation and tell me the final figure. Wow, students have come up with answer already. 5034050. Great. 5034050. Five zero three four. Income from other sources is only interest on. Correct. So there is only one item here. That item is amounting to rupees 4570. So students, how much will be your GTI? It is easy, it can be orally calculated. 5038620. Now, here for the time being, this is nil. Why nil? Because as far as new scheme is concerned, you are not allowed to take deduction under Chapter 6A barring 3. And here none of those deductions are covered. Yes, there is one deduction possible, which is of contribution to political parties. But that would be allowed to you under the old regime, which will be our parallel working, not here. So this is our correct. Now, importantly, along with this, you have to also determine what could be your computation under the parallel regime or the old regime. Now for that, 1 second. My working note 2 is computation of income under old regime. Now, if we come to old regime, in this particular question, you only have PGBP, which needs to be recomputed for the old regime. So when we talk about PGBP, we can start with the amount that we have already calculated in the new regime. So PGBP as per new regime. Now what is this figure? It is 50,34,050. So it is 50,34,050. Right? Now, what is the difference, students, between the old regime and the new regime is that there are few deductions which the old regime allows, but the new regime does not allows. And here, majorly, it is the section 35 AD business. So new regime is not recognizing it as any special business and no special deduction of that is allowed. But under the old regime, that is the special deduction. So here you are eligible for that special treatment, which is not there in the new regime. So what we will do from this, we will segregate minus. Firstly, income from warehousing, because this will be part of 35 AD. And also, we will nullify the effect of depreciation on warehouse building, because both things will now be part of 35 AD. How much was the warehousing income, students? 2250. So 2250 we will subtract, and the depreciation which we had claimed on the warehouse building was 2 lakhs. So 2250 we subtract, 2 lakhs we add. So we get PGBP income excluding 35 AD business. Correct? So this will be 30, 20, 20 minus this. So 30, 29, 84. Please cross confirm. Please cross confirm, students. Is it correct? 2984. Correct. Okay. Now, B part is section 35 AD business. Now, in that you have the warehousing income, which is 2250. Now, what is special? You can claim the entire capital expenditure on the warehouse building. How much was that? It was 20 lakhs. So interestingly, in this case, your net income will be 250 from 35 AD. So this becomes your final PGBP income. So it is 29 plus 2, 31, 32, 34. And then the second income that you have is of other sources. That remains same. There is no change in that. So it is how much? 4570. So this becomes your GDI. Less. Now you'll claim deduction under chapter 6A. This is under what? Under section 80 GGC towards contribution to political party, which was not allowable in the new regime. It is allowable here. So firstly, this is 32, 38, 570. Correct now? Here it is 620. Why here it is 570? Oh, sorry. See one small mistake. So here also 32, 38, 620. Okay. And then 1 lakh is the deduction. So your taxable income here is 31, 38, 620. This is under the old regime. Yes, correct. Now we go to the third working. Computation of tax liability. Now here two parts. New regime, which is also your default regime. Now here, how much is your TI under the new regime? It is 50, 38, 620. Correct? Okay. Now how much is basic tax, students? What are the slabs under the new regime? Up to 3 lakhs nil, 3 to 7, 7 to 10, and so on. Correct? So can you give me the basic tax here? Chalo. Give me the basic tax, students. Chalo, I'm waiting for your answer, students. Give me the basic tax. Khushi says 631, 586. Okay. Yes, students, please confirm. 631, 586 under the new regime. Students, the slab will be up to 3 lakhs. It will be nil. Correct. 3 to 7. That is on 4 lakhs. Correct. It will be 5%. So it will come to 20,000. Then 7 to 10 on 3 lakhs. It will be 10%. So 30,000. 10 to 12. Correct. 2 lakhs. It will be 15%. 30,000. Then 12 to 15. On 3 lakhs, it will be 20%. 3 2 6. And then on the balance amount from here above 15 lakhs. Be 30%. This total is your basic tax student. So Khushi, I think it will not come to 631. Okay, I'm now getting another figure. Nagaraja says it will be 1201586, same as Vaishnavi. Shagufta has slightly different figure. She says 1249650. Again, Siddha has the original figure of 1201. Gayatri same, Gulika same. So I think it is 1201586. Right? Now, since your TI is exceeding 50 lakhs, whenever TI exceeds 50 lakhs, there is a surcharge at the rate of 10%. So it will be 12015 or 9, whatever you can take. So I get total, which is of tax plus surcharge, which will be 13, 21, 740. Right. Students, am I correct? No, this is not 4, this is 9. So this is 45. Okay. Somesh is saying, sir, 12 lakh slab is applicable to Jan 26. Okay, so I didn't get your point, beta. The attempt is based on the budget. No? So is budget 2025, 2025 applicable to your exams? I don't think so. So if it is not applicable, then as per 2024 budget, if I'm not wrong, this is the correct slabs. Correct, no? Okay. Now there will be something called as marginal relief. Correct. Now, whenever you have surcharge, you should check marginal relief. And after adjusting marginal relief, whatever is the balance on that, you will have health and education cess 4%, and this will be your final tax liability. Now, marginal relief. How do we find out marginal relief? It is difference in tax. What is difference in tax? Tax plus surcharge on TI, which we have got as 1321,745 minus tax on rupees 50 lakhs. This will give you excess tax. From this, we will take difference in income, which is TI minus rupees 50 lakhs. And this figure, if positive, that will be your marginal relief. How much is your TI? In the meantime, students, using the same slab, what we have discussed above, please find out tax on 50 lakhs. How much is my TI? TI is 50, 38, 620. So minus 50 lakhs is 38, 620. So students, give me the figure of tax on exact 50 lakhs. Nagaraja is saying 1190. Okay, one more answer, 1190. Gulika, Kushi. Okay, Siddhas, all are saying 1190. So it is 131,745. Am I correct? 131,745 minus 38,620. Please tell me how much it comes to. So here it is 125. 38 minus 31. 93. Is it 93? 125. Hmm. So finally, how much will be our answer? It will be 12, 28, 620. Correct? Now compute 4% of this. Forty-nine 145. Okay. What is this 127,765? I'm sure you are giving the final answer maybe. Okay. So firstly 49 145 is, and then total what was given? 127,765. 127,765. 765. So rounded off, it will be 1277770. Correct, na? Nearest 10 rupees we round off. Correct, students? Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. So one job done. Now second job under the old regime. TI. How much is my TI under the old regime? It is 31, 38, 620. Students, basic tax. Here, I think now Up to 2.5 lakhs, it is nil, correct? Then between 5 and 2.5, right now, that is on 2.5 lakhs, it is 5%. Then between 10 and 5, that is on 5 lakhs, it is 10%. No, 10% slab was not there. So it is 20% between 10 to 5. And then above 10, it was 30%. So give me the basic tax. It is SSC age if not given, but you will assume it is below 60 if age is not given. And as far as I recall, the age is not given. Nagaraja, what is 1 lakh beta? So majority of your answers are 754086. Since it is below 50 lakhs, there is no question of surcharge. Then health and education cess. So total and rounded. What are these figures, students? Acha, you are giving me the final answer including cess. Okay. Okay, so people are giving me final answer, I think, including cess, that is 784250 rounded. 782 no, 784250. So this is the final answer, students. Yes. But wait, under old regime, you have to also check AMT provisions. What are AMT provisions? Now for AMT provisions, you will have to adjust the special tax treatment given to Section 35 AD business. So it will start from TI, which is 31, 38, 620. In that, we will add back the capital expenditure on warehouse, and we can claim depreciation on warehouse. So capital expenditure 20 lakhs, depreciation at the rate of 10%, this you can claim. So effectively, here your adjusted total income for the purpose of AMT, how much it is coming? 18, and this is 49, 38, 620. Okay. Now what is your AMT? It is at the rate of 18.5%. Yes. And to this, you will add health and education cess total tax. Okay. So again, students are giving me some figures 784250. Kushi saying 5038620. Kushi, what is this figure, beta? 5038620. I'm not getting this figure, Kushi. I think you have given me the figure of adjusted total income, but I'm not getting that. Simply 18 lakhs has to be added in the original TI. So it is coming to something 49. Nagaraja is giving me some figure 91364. Is it tax? Nagaraja? Students, please give me the figure of tax. Nagaraja has given me one figure 913645. So 18.5 as per Nagaraja 913645. Then adding 4%. Nagaraja says 950190. Okay. 950. Now, tax payable will be higher of actual tax rupees 784 250 and AMT which is rupees 950 190. Also, in this case, you will get AMT credit. If you go by this, AMT credit will be this difference. Now, which one you will suggest, students? So this is the final tax liability as per old regime. And new regime, the tax liability was this. Now, final answer. Tax liability. New regime is 1277770 and old regime is 950 190. So definitely we will suggest old regime. But then I'm sure you all know if a person is having PGBP and if he shifts from new to old, it will be difficult to come back because this shifting cannot be allowed again and again. So since the person is having PGBP, he will have to take a very cautious decision whether or not he wishes to shift to the old regime, because then shifting back is not possible. Correct? Just go through this entire working. Let me know if something is not clear to you all. Chalo, let me know. Sir, my question is 12 lakh slab is applicable to Jan or not? That's what I'm not getting, beta. Why means which 12 lakh slab you're talking about, beta? So I'm still not getting your query. So you mean to say this slab is not there? 10 to 12? This is what you mean to say? Yes, beta. Are you saying this that this 10 to 12 is not available? Basic exemption limit. Acha, Ray, that's what I said, na beta. We are going by 2024 budget, not the last budget where up to 12 lakhs they have given exemption. Also, beta, let me tell you, 12 lakhs is not the basic exemption limit, Somesh. So even in this, firstly, for this question, that is not applicable 12 lakhs. Second, 12 lakhs is not the basic exemption limit. So if your income is up to 12 lakhs, tax payable is zero, but that is by way of a special rebate. Like here also, up to 7 lakhs, whatever will be the tax liability, if your income would have been up to 7 or something, 7 lakhs only, it would have been zero. But since it is exceeding 7, you have to pay total tax. So 12 lakhs in this new budget, the previous budget, is not the basic exemption limit, students. Just keep that in mind. Correct? Fine. Should we proceed? Okay. Kushi says if we computing tax liability as per old regime, the adjusted total income is to be calculated even if it does not ask to push, even if it does not ask to calculate in most beneficial manner. No, see, only if they are asking you to calculate in most beneficial manner, then only you will compute liability as per old regime. Otherwise, they will tell you that it will be as per old or as per new. Like in the future questions, the further question that we are going to solve, they will give you one of the methods only. They will say old or they will say new. But when they are saying most beneficial, you'll have to compute under both. So let's see now. When you go to the next question, you'll understand. So this question said most beneficial. So we did both. Correct? Okay. Now, when you go to this question, see what the question is saying. If he opts out, now here, both workings are not required. It will be only one working because this question is asking you to solve it only by one approach, that is opting out. Correct? Sure. Now, this is slightly lengthier. So maybe you all can take a screenshot first so that you will have it handy for your reference. Now, where does the question starts? Yes. So maybe you can take the question. 1 second, I'll give you. How much is the question? Okay. So we divide it into two parts. You take first part up to this. Take a screenshot, students. Done. Now take another screenshot from here. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Yes. Now take the screenshot. Khushi, when it is old regime, then adjusted total income will come na, by default. Because for old regime, you are applicable to AMT also. So when it will be old regime, like in this case, we will have to do AMT also, but not the new regime. Correct? So let us start. What is given? Mr. Vaibhav, resident, individual, aged 46 years, engaged in business of plywood, maintains books of accounts under 44 AB. He follows mercantile system of accounting, regularly files his return. Profit and loss account for this year ended showed net profit of 5142. Oh, net profit itself is 51 lakhs. Okay. During the year, Mr. Vaibhav had taken professional service from a lawyer in relation to business dispute. The legal fees was amounting to rupees 1 lakh. Tax has been deducted on time but did not deposit. He deposited on 15 November. So I'm sure you all know if he is depositing after the due date of filing returns, then the disallowance is 30%. So 30% will be disallowed. Weber renovated his office by engaging in the services of brother. Have become very old. Total payment made is 250, which is reasonable to the extent of this. Okay, so unreasonable is 2.5 minus 1.5. So rupees 1 lakh is unreasonable, correct? Then he purchased goods worth rupees 30,000 from Vishnu and Co, a micro enterprise on 1st March. Wow. According to written agreement between the payment was to be made by 5th of April. However, he made the payment by 15th of April. Okay. So you were supposed to make payment to him by 5th April. Now, what is the maximum time up to which you can make payment? Not beyond 45 days. Now, had you made this payment on 5th April, it would have been within the time limit as per the agreement, but you have not paid it. So it will not be allowed. Yes, you paid it later, but then this will go to the next financial year. So this 30,000 will get disallowed under 43. Additional as per the restructuring agreement with the bank has converted unpaid interest of rupees 6 lakhs, okay, into a new loan account repayable in 20 equal annual installments. The first installment was paid in March. So 6 lakhs is the interest, okay. Oh, now this 6 lakhs has been converted into loan. It means this is not going to be paid now immediately. Rather, they have said that it will be repayable in 20 equal installments. So 6 lakhs divided by 20 will be how much? 30,000. Okay. So Gulika says 30,000. So out of 6 lakhs, I would have paid in March 30K. So 5.7 will be disallowed because of section 43B, because 43B requires that interest has to be paid. If interest is not paid, it will not be allowed as deduction. Now, if you convert the interest into a loan, then anyways, you have not paid that interest, and only the amount which is allowed is the amount which is paid. So since you have only paid 30,000, only that much will be allowed. Balance 570 will be disallowed. Depreciation as per income tax rules is 12 lakhs. He contributed 50,000 in Tier 1 NPS during the year. He further invested in 5-year deposit 1.5 lakhs. Okay. Now coming to something additional. He employed 90 new employees during the previous year, 24-25. Oh, super. This is about 80 JJAA, correct? Now for 80 JJAA, what we have to check. So what it says, he employed new employees in this year, the details of whom are as follows. 20 employees on the first day, 25, 30, 15. The regular employees participate in RPF while the casual employees do not. Now students, what is the impact of all this? Do you recall 80 JJAA? Yes, students, do you recall 80 JJAA? Because that working is going to be important over here. Now, what does 80 JJAA says? That if you have employed new workmen and they should be permanent workmen, how permanent? So they are given some minimum period of service. If the workers are employed for that minimum period of service, second condition, they have given a capping on the amount of monthly payment. It should not exceed 25,000. So when you satisfy all these conditions, then whatever salary you are paying to them, you get 30% of that salary paid to these new employees. Yes, very good. So Kushi, correct. Yes, Nagaraja. So you will get deduction of 30% of those employees. Correct. Now we'll have to identify out of this which employees are eligible for deduction. Now they've already said that casual employees are not participating in a provident fund. So anyways, they are out of question. So we remove casual employees. Out of regular, this category of employee salary exceeds the limit of 25,000. So this is also excluded. So what is left with us is only one category of employee who satisfies all the conditions. So these are 20 employees. The salary per employee is this, and this is per month salary. So this is your annual salary payable to these employees. Now 30% of this will be allowed as deduction. Somebody has calculated this figure. Okay. Kushi has given this figure as 5760 and even 30% she has given. So 5760 Kushi has given. Now Sorry. Yes. 30% of 5760. This is also given by Kushi. It is this. Mr. Vaibhav. Yes, correct, Nagaraj. So Mr. Vaibhav had sculptures in the form of capital asset acquired in January 15. For later on, he started sculpture business and converted. Okay. FMV on the date of conversion was this. Excellent. Subsequently sold this stock in trade on 10 June, that is in the current year. No entry has been made. Super. Excellent, students. Great sum. Let us start. Anyways, this has to be done by the old scheme only. So there is no challenge here of making multiple. So computation of income. Yes, yes, he is Mr. Vaibhav. ROR, PY, PY. Now again, income from salary, HP, profits and gains from business and profession, capital gains, less deduction, this is your total income. Tax on it. Payable or refund. Okay. Whose salary not there, HP not there, other sources not there. So we start with computation of PGB. Correct? Now, profit and loss, and then add and less. 5142. This first is professional fees, TDS not deposited within the time limit of filing returns. So TDS on professional fees not deposited before due date of filing returns. So we disallow 30%. How much is that amount? 1 lakh. So first addition is this 30,000. We have renovated office. Here we found unreasonable 1 lakh. Unreasonable payment to related person. 1 lakh. Then MSME payment. Beyond due date as per agreement. So how much is the amount? 30,000. Then depreciation as per accounting P&L. You can add the entire amount. As per profit and loss account is 1366. Okay. Loan restructuring. Interest on loan converted to new loan. So 570. Depreciation, this will be subtracted. This will be 80C. This will be 80JJA, and this is okay. Minus depre as per income tax. How much it is? 12 lakhs. Now, there is also one adjustment given for conversion of stock in trade. Sorry, capital asset into stock in trade in the previous year, and in the current year, the stock in trade is sold. Now, if the stock in trade is sold in the current year, there will be two tax implications. One, for the old conversion, which we will tax in the current year in the head capital gain, and second, the PGBP income. So that will also come. PGBP income on sale of converted capital asset. So FMV will be your cost. So how much is the sale price? He sold for 5 lakhs and FMV on the date of conversion was 350. So 5 lakhs is your sale value. FMV on the date of conversion is 350. So only one subtraction. So this will be your PGBP income. Yes, students, please tell me. Gulika says 61888000. Yes, Kushi, that capital gain I'm yet to do. You are right. Nagaraja, Kushi, Gulika. Okay, 61888000. 61888000 is my now. Computation of capital gains. Remember, this capital gain is of earlier period. Which period? It is of 23-24 because conversion had taken place in that year. So it is of 23-24. So FPC is FMV on date of conversion minus index cost of acquisition. So this is 350. Now, Index cost of acquisition. I had acquired it for 180 in January 15. So I will take 14, 15 and 23, 24, correct? So 180 multiplied by 348 divided by 240, correct now? So what will be your index cost of acquisition, students? And what will be your capital gain or loss? Firstly, I hope you all understood why I took of 23, 24 and not of current year, that is 24, 25. That is important because this capital gain had already arisen in 23, 24. Only we are taxing it in the current year. Hence, you take indexation rate of the previous financial year only. 261, and then this is 39, and this LTCG is 89. Okay. Kushi, Nagaraja, Vaishnavi. Okay. ठीक है. Nagaraja, what is this 611? So I come back. Here it is 89. And then this will be 8, 16, 17. So 62, 16, 6277%. Correct. Okay. LTCG, na? Or else we would not have index, na? It is LTCG only, na? And that is why we have indexed it better. Otherwise, we would not have indexed it. It is more than 36 months. Correct, na? Now, deduction under chapter 6A. Now in that 80 JJAA. So I'll find out additional wages. This is only applicable of, what is that? Yes, 20 into 24 into 12. So 20 employees into 24,000 into 12 months. So this comes to 5760. 30% of additional wages. How much we had calculated? 1728. So 80 JJAA deduction is 1728. Now, next is 80C. Under 80C, contributed 50,000 to Tier 1 NPS. Okay. He invested 5-year term deposit. Okay. So deposit in 5-year term deposit. Rupees 150. Then you have 80CCD. Now 80CCD is having that additional limit of 50,000, I think in 1B. Correct, na students? Section number 1B is correct. 80CCD 1B. And for that, you should have Tier 1 account, yes. So you can take this deduction there. So this is rupees 2 lakhs. So total deduction under chapter Paper 6A is ATC plus ATCCD plus ATJJAA. So this is 150 plus 50. So this is 2 lakhs. 2 plus 17 is 1928. So I come back here. 50, 49. So my TI is how much, students? 49. So I was working out 3. Now, working note 4, computation of tax. How much is my TI? 4349, in which LTCG is 89. So TI is 4349. So it is below 50 lakhs, so no question of surcharge. Now out of this TI, LTCG is 89, on which the normal tax rate of 20%. And then other incomes. If I remove 89 out of this, so I'm left with 4260. Ah, yes, Nagraja. So again, 4260 students, slab rate up to 2.5, it is nil. Then 2.525 on this 2.5, it is 5%. On this 5 lakhs, it is 20%. And then above 10 lakhs, it is 30%. So one is this tax of 89 into 28 to the 69 to the 18. So 160 plus 18 is 178. Correct now? Sorry, how it can be? Sorry, 10 is extra. Yes. So this is given by students as 190500. Kushi says 190500. Nagaraja is saying 190000. There is no 500, Nagaraja. Gulika is giving me 1108300. Acha, 1090500. Okay. So should I take it as 1090500? And then total tax is 1108300, correct? There is no surcharge because it is below 50 lakhs. So health, this is your final tax liability. How much it is? 44,332. So it is 1152, 632, rounded off, 1152, 630. Oh, but then we have to again check AMT. So we start with TI. Now, under AMT, what change will happen, students, under AMT? Yes, Nagaraja, beta, tell me. Kushi is saying add back 80 JJAA. Okay. Nagaraja, but I have unmuted you. Tell me. I cannot hear you, but if you are saying something, I am not able to hear you. Are you saying something, Nagaraja, beta? How much was it? TJJAA, it was 1728. So this is your adjusted 437067. Okay. 6077, correct? Now AMT at the rate of 18.5% plus health and education cess at the rate of 4%. So it will be our final tax liability. 10. How much will be the figure, students? Yes, students. Okay. Nikhil says 1169,214. Golika says 1124,245. Oh, there are multiple answers. Kushi says 1124,245. So Kushi, Nagaraja, Golika all are saying the same 1124,245. Further, they are saying health and education says 44. How much? Golika 44,970. Sorry, we are missing this. Sorry. What have we missed? Surcharge. Done. 12, 36, 669 plus health and education cess. This will be our final tax liability, students. I missed that 50 lakh mark. Okay, Nagaraja is giving me the final figure. 1286137. So rounded 1286140. Now again, this is higher. So you end up paying 1286140. Okay. Correct. Yeah. Okay, students, we take a break. 15 minutes. We come back and we go to the next question. In the meantime, I'll just put the question on the screen so that whoever has time may start. Yes, we start going through the question. ठीक है, fine, okay, break बेटा 15 minutes. Let us start, students. So, Mr. Sunil is 48 years. He occupies ground floor of his residence building. Let out the first floor. Both these floors are of equal size. Okay. As per interest certificate, we paid 150 as interest and 80,000 towards principal. Okay. He owns an industrial undertaking established in SEZ. Yes, but Gayatri, that 1.25 lakhs is applicable only when it is capital gain under 112A. Na? Here our capital gain was not under 112A. Correct? Plus that 1.25 lakhs applies for where budget 25 applies. No? Again, we are still doing budget 24. Right? Okay. Let us proceed. Fine. Na? I hope you got the answer. Okay. He owns an industrial undertaking in SEZ, which commenced operation in 1920. Total turnover is 400 lakhs, which includes 150 lakhs from export. Out of 150, 120 has been received in convertible foreign exchange before the timeline allowed. This industrial undertaking fulfills all conditions of 10AA. Okay. 20 new employees out of 2012 were employed on 1st May. 18,000. Remaining were employed on 1st September. 12,000 RPF. Very good. He earned 30,000, 40,000 in interest of saving bank and fixed deposit respectively. He also sold his vacant land on 112. Very good. So after our landmark date of 23rd July, then was acquired. Wow. So this has everything, students. So you have to compute total income tax liability of Mr. Sunil under the new regime. Correct? Now, if I'm not wrong, except salary, you have everything in this sum. So default means 115 BAC, na beta? Nagarajan. So default is the new scheme, na? So computation of income, AY, PY, Mr. Sunil. Correct. 2025, 26, 2024, 25. Okay. Income from salary, house property will be working note 1. PGBP we have na in this sum. D capital gains working 3. Other sources working note 4. Less chapter 6A working note 5. So TI 6 minus TDS TCS tax payable. Okay. Computation of HP income. Okay, students. So in HP, I think we have two types of properties, self-occupied also and let out also. So first two adjustments are for HP. We occupies ground floor, let out first floor. Annual rent is 295. We paid municipal taxes. Both these floors are of equal size. Okay. Then as per interest certificate, we paid 1.5 as interest. ठीक है. So 295 municipal tax 25, 150 interest. So we start with let out. So GAV under section 23(1). Now they have given nothing for your expected rent and all those rents. So directly the 295 actual rent will be this. Municipal tax paid, you get NAV minus deduction under section 24. Clause A, standard deduction 30%. Clause B, interest on loan. So this is your HP income, students. Now 25,000 of the whole property, we divided by 2, treating it as half because the sizes of both the floors is same. What did you ask, Nagaraj? I did not get your question, beta. So 115 BAC is the thing that we are going to do because it is the default regime, right? Now 282,500, correct? Now how much will be 30% of this? Interest will be half. Yes, students, how much will be 30% of this? Hmm. 84,750. So what is final HP income then? Of the let out portion. Kushi says 122,750. Okay. Now, for the let out portion, GAV nil, municipal tax nil, NAV nil, standard deduction nil. What about interest? Students, what about interest? Yes, Sarang says 75,000. Okay, Sarang, correct. Yes, others. Very good. Khushi says 75, allowed up to 2 lakhs for self-occupied under 115 BAC. So Khushi, you say 75 because Gayatri and Vaishnavi are saying no deduction because we are following new regime. Is that so that under new regime you don't get deduction for this interest of self-occupied HP? Nagaraja says deduction is available. Lavanya says no deduction. Wow. So there are multiple answers. Yes, yes, loan is for construction, Kushi. The question is not about what will be the limit, 75 or 30. The question is about whether deduction is allowed under the new regime for interest for self-occupied HP. Answer is not applicable. Yes, correct. So my final HP income is second. Again, this is towards principal, and I'm sure you all know what will happen for this. There will be no deduction even under 80C because we are in the new regime. Then he owns an industrial undertaking established in SEZ. Commence operation, turnover is 400. There is only one item in PGVP, so we need not do any working. Sorry, I'll have to change these working notes. So it is simply SEZ profit because they have directly given you profit. How much? 150, no? 40 lakhs. So capital gain will require working. Computation of CG. Now, what is given about CG? This will be 80 GGA later. This is OS. Now now see, the transfer is happening after your landmark date of 23rd of July. So because of this, you are not allowed indexation. However, since you are individual and the asset is land, while computing tax, you can do computation with indexation, right? Now your sale price is this. Stamp duty value is this. Now what you do? 15 plus 10% is 16.5. Now since the value, stamp value is less, so we'll take 16.5. And this land was acquired in 1998, so before 2001. So we have FMV of 2001 subject to this. So this will be taken. So 4 lakhs will be cost. And he had incurred registration of 12,000 at the time of purchase. Okay. So FVC under section 50C is 15 lakhs. Sin stamp duty value is less than 110% of sale price. Correct? Expenses on transfer, something is given now, 12,000. Correct? Expenses on transfer, students, 12,000. Students, expenses on transfer. No. Nagaraja, it is no. Why? Read the question carefully. There is expenses of registration, but it is saying at that time. And this whole sentence is for purchase from here to here. So it is expenses at the time of purchase. It is not expenses at the time of transfer. See, these small things are very important. Yes, Sarang Bida, you're right. So this is nil. Less cost of acquisition. Correct. Now we have actual cost, which is 2.8 plus 12. Correct. Sarang has rightly pointed out. So this is 28 lakhs, 12,000. And then we have FMV on 1st April 001, stamp duty value on 1st April 001. 8 lakhs and 4 lakhs. Is there some mistake at my end? This is 2.8 lakhs, not 28 lakhs. 2.8 plus 0.12 is equal to 292. This is 480. This is 4 lakhs. We have to take lower of these and then higher of these. So it will be finally 4 lakhs. Correct, students? So LTCG 11 lakhs. Working note 3. Other sources. I think only there are 2 interests. Correct. One is on your savings account and the other is on FD. What are the amounts? 30, 40. 70. Correct, students? So now how much is your GTI? Two 92,750. Huh? What is this 12,62,750? It is, I think, 52,92,750. Please check. Correct? Yes, Kushi. Yes, Kulika. Okay, now we have working note number 3, so 4, so 5. Deduction chapter 6A, section 80C not applicable. Section 80 JJAA. Students, is this available under new scheme? Is this available? Now, we'll have to do working of employees who are eligible for, now see, there are 20 new employees. Out of 2012 were employed on 1st May. Okay. So this is well within 25,000, no problem. Remaining are employed on 1st September. And this is also well within 25,000. Both are participating in RPF, but they have to be permanent employee, whereby they have to serve for minimum 240 days in that year. Only then they will be eligible for being considered here. Now, from 1st May to 31st March, it is how many days? So it is 365 total minus April 30. So it will be 335. So 240 days criteria is met by these employees. Now, what about the employees who joined on 1st of September? So either you count from 1st September to 31st March, or you take 365 and from that subtract April, May, June, July, August. So this will give you from 1st September onwards, correct? Very good, Kushi. Just let me do the workings. So 3, 3, 3, 9, 12, 15. So how much is subtracted? 153. 153 subtracted from this. So it is getting 212. So less than 240 days. Since it is less than 240 days, unfortunately, these employees are not eligible. So only 12 having monthly salary of 18,000 and they have joined on 1st May. So 12 employees, monthly salary of 18,000 joined from 1st May, so 11 months. And Khushi has already given me the figure. So it comes to 2376, this amount. And then 30% of 2376 is the amount. Khushi says 712,800. Yes, Nagaraja. Yes, Gayatri. Gayatri, 800 or 840? 800 or 840, Gayatri. So this is the deduction. Now there is another deduction under section 10AA for SEZ units. However, it is also not applicable under 115 BAC, that is a new scheme. So it is only 712,800. That is the only deduction that you have, which is for 80 JJAA, 80C not allowed, SEZ 10AA not allowed. So what is your TI? No problem, madam. Nagaraja says 45, 79, 950. Okay. Kushi says the same. Okay. Computation of tax. So the TI is 4579,950. Correct? Right? Now we have to compute tax. Now the tax will be in two parts. On LTCG, the tax will be separate, and for other incomes, it will be separate. But in LTCG, we'll have to find out tax with and without indexation. So tax without indexation, which is already here. So without indexation, the tax will be on 11 lakhs. So it is 12.5% into 11 lakhs. Then tax with indexation. Since the assessee is individual and the asset is land building, so again FVC minus ICOA. What was our computation? 15 lakhs was FVC minus cost of acquisition was 4 lakhs divided by current year 363. So it is 363 upon 100. How much it will come to, students? Okay, Khushi, that's great. 1452. Okay, so 1450. So this is LTCG 48. Now 20% on 48,000. So 42 to 96, so 9,600. So 125 plus 12,500, so 137. 137,500. So definitely we'll go by 9,600. So this is my tax on LTCG. Now on other incomes. Now this capital gain was 11 lakhs. So my income other than this will be this minus 11. So if I subtract 11, it will be 34,79,950. And on this, at the slab rate. Hulika, I did not get this point, but 11,38,985. What is this? What is beta 11,38,985? Is it the tax? But that is too much. Oh, basic tax is so much. 11,38,985. See, beta, this is 34. So 11,38 is virtually 1/3. 30%. No, I don't think so. This is my logic. Huh? It cannot be that much. See, again, up to 3 lakhs nil. Then 7 minus 3 on 4 lakhs. You have 5%. Then 10 minus 7 on 3 lakhs, you have 10%. Then 12 minus 10 on 2 lakhs, you have 15%. 15 minus 12 on 3 lakhs, you have 20%. And then above 12, you have 30%. How much will this come to, students? Many of you are giving me 733,985. Lavanya is giving something else, 436,993. But many of you are giving me 733,985. Please confirm. Okay, Nagaraja says yes, it is confirmed. So my total basic tax is this 733,985 plus 9,600. Correct? Now we add 9,600 to this 7 इधर होगा. So 743,585. And then you have the health and education cess. Correct, no? Given final answer by many of you, 773, 330. Okay. Correct, no? 773, 330. Correct. So that is the final answer, students. Yes, perfect. Yes, Nagaraj, correct. 288B is the rounding off section. Right. So 288A for income and 288B for tax. Both rounded out to nearest 10 rupees. So student, this is the comprehensive sum. I'm sure you all would have got a good clarity on the approach. And yes, where both are asked, that is a bit challenging, which we did the very first sum. It is very time consuming. But where one of the schemes is asked, like in this only the new scheme was asked, in this only the old scheme was asked, it is still manageable. But where both schemes have to be done, both regimes have to be taken care of parallelly, it is slightly challenging. But fine, that is how it is, students. So students, I am sure in this entire revision class, you would have gained a lot of insights on how to handle the paper, how to prepare for the paper, how to revise. I've been always saying solve practical sums. So revise using practical. Shagufta is asking, sir, if regime is not mentioned, then what? Then beta, it will always be new regime because new is the default. So even the law says where nothing is mentioned about the regime, it will be new regime. So you will also follow that. You cannot take old regime, beta. Correct? Shagufta and everyone. So if question does not mention regime, you have to take new regime. Right? Perfect. So students, wishing you all the best. Please prepare well. This is a very beautiful subject. Yes, a bit lengthy, a bit burdensome on your minds and delicate hearts. But yes, that is the charm of doing something too funny. So thank you very much. Please prepare well. We at BOS are always there to help you out in any of the manner that you want. So we are hosting regularly all updated material, all practice questions with answers, MTPs, RTPs. Please do refer them. Please solve. And yes, you can always connect to BOS for any of your queries. or any of the support that you require. So thank you, students. Thank you very much and wish you all the best for your career. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good night.